Hello and welcome to another class, Learning English without translation, with the beautiful story of the greatest, bravest, best Ayrton Senna. Second or third place is not enough. Because the truth is, if you want to be able to speak English like a native speaker, two native speakers, to be able to understand native speakers in real life, and to be able to speak English fluently, confidently, to be able to speak fluent English without thinking, without halting. Uh, uh, if you want to speak English really fluently, for real, and for good, you have got to learn like children. How do children learn English? Do they study grammar rules? No. Do they keep doing like boring drillings, decorebas chatos, boring tables? Do they translate? No. No. How do children learn and master English? Listening to stories every day. Listening to super interesting, fun, exciting stories every single day. That is how children learn. That's how they become fluent. And that's why we do these classes, Learning English Without Translation, with Marley and Me, The Pirates of the Caribbean, A Star is Born, Ayrton Senna. Okay? So, without further ado, just a minute. Without further ado, let us continue. Okay, we are in chapter 1. This is what we have seen and studied in the previous classes. And just a moment. Yes, this is where we have stopped in our last class. Yes. Yes. So, yes, sorry, I was just double checking something we might seen here. So, this is where we stopped last class. Senna was 20 years old. His father wanted him to join the family business, but Senna had other plans, other ideas. He was 20 years old now, and he didn't want to keep racing go-karts. Now Senna wanted to race cars. Okay? And to do that, there was a condition. Something was necessary. Oops, sorry. For Senna to stop racing, to move from racing go-karts to racing cars, there was a condition. Something was necessary. He would have to move to England. Okay? Why? Because England was the place for motor racing. England was the best place if you had the dream of becoming a Formula One driver. Okay? The top drivers that were racing Formula One, many of them had started their driving in England's Formula Ford 1600, Formula Ford 2000, and Formula 3. The Van Diemen team, they were looking for a driver to race in Formula Ford 1600. And they were interested in Senna. But there was one problem. The problem is money, because motor racing cost back then a lot of money. It's not cheap, it's very expensive. Okay? For example, Van Diemen didn't pay their drivers. The drivers had no salary, no wage, no income. The Van Diemen team didn't pay their drivers. They didn't give their drivers any money. Instead, in opposition to that, contrarily, the drivers had to pay the Van Diemen team. Because of that, Milton da Silva wasn't sure that his son was doing the right thing. Milton da Silva is Ayrton Senna's father. He was in doubt. He was questioning himself. He wasn't sure. He was not confident that it was the right thing to do, the right way to go. But in the end, at the end of the day, all in all, after everything was said and done, Milton agreed to pay. He said yes. He agreed to pay. He said yes. Okay. So, this is where we stopped last class. Let's continue today's class. So, Ayrton Senna had a 19-year-old girlfriend in Brazil. He was 20 and he had a 19-year-old girlfriend in Brazil. Her name was Lilian. Ok? They were friends. They, Senna and Lilian. They were friends as young children. And now they were in love. Okay, so how did it all start? This romance. Senna and Lilian met, encountered, became friends, spoke for the first time. They met when they were young children. Maybe 5, maybe 7, 9 years old. Young children, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Young children. That's when they met. That's when they first talked. First, that's when they saw, past of to see, they saw each other for the first time. That's when they met. Okay? Okay? To meet could have two meanings. To encounter, to see and talk for the first time, to see somebody for the first time, or to meet also can be to gather, together, to get together, to go to a reunion. Okay? Meaning reunion, gathering, being together, meeting. Ok? So, tradução da confirmação. Conhecer, se reunir, encontrar. Let's meet. Let's make a reunion. Let's get together. Let's gather. Let's see each other. If it's for the first time, to meet, no sentido de conhecer. So, they met. They first met when they were young children. Okay? 5, 7, 9 years old. And now, esse now aqui é Senna com 20 anos de idade. Senna was born in 1960. Então, esse now aqui é 1980. Ok? Now they were in love. They were passionate about each other. They wanted more than being friends. They wanted a romance. And after only 2 months together, they decided to get married. Ok? Então, falando aqui, ó, sobre, né, young children, etc. From 0 to 2 months, it's a newborn. Se você for nas lojas lá, dos outlets, na Carter's, comprar roupa de bebê, a primeira que vai ter é NB, NB, que é de newborn. Newborn, 0 to 2, 0 to 3, 0 to 6. Okay? Newborn. After that, infant, 2 months to 1 year old. And then we become toddlers. Toddlers, like bebezinho, from 1 to 4 years old. Then we become children. Then we become tweens or preteens. Then we become teenagers, adolescents, from 12 to 18 years old. Tanto que 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. It's the age of the teens. It's when we are teenagers. Teenagers, age of the teens. Okay? And then we become young adults from 18 to 29. And then adults. Oops, sorry. And then adults. Middle-aged. And older adults or elderly. 16 years old and up. From 65 forward. Okay? So, here we have some pictures of Senna and Lilian. They met when they were young children, but now they were in love. And after only 2 months together, they decided to get married. After only 2 months together, they decided to get married. Okay? And the day after the marriage, the day after they became husband and wife. So, they got married. Senna became the husband. Lilian became Senna's wife. Senna was Lilian's husband. Lilian became Senna's wife. The day after they got married, they flew, past off to flow. They flew past off to flow. They took a flight. They flew past off to flow to get on an airplane to take a flight somewhere. They flew They got on an airplane. They took a flight to England. They got on an airplane and went to England. They took a flight to England. And just like Ayrton, Lilian also came from a rich family. And now, for the first time in her life, for the first time in forever, she had to do housework. She had to do housework. So what's the point here? She had to cook, clean the house, iron clothes, wash clothes, wash the dishes, do the groceries. Ok? So, deixa eu até ver se eu... consigo aumentar isso aqui? Aqui. Yes, better. She had to do the groceries, wash the dishes, wash the clothes, sweep the floor, cook, clean the house, vacuum the floor, iron the clothes. She had, for the first time in her life, she had to do housework. What's the point here? Coming from a rich family, like Ayrton Senna, Lilian had never had to do housework in her life before, because her family was rich. So they had money to pay for a maid. They had money to pay for a maid. Deixa eu pegar uma imagem aqui. They had money to pay for a maid. Okay? They had money to pay for a maid to do the housework. They could afford, they could pay a maid to do the housework, to clean the house, to sweep the floor. Sweep the floor, wash the clothes, wash the dishes, do the groceries, cook, vacuum the floor, the carpet, the sofa, the rugs, iron the clothes. The person that does those things, it's the housewife or the maid. Okay? Coming from a rich family, Lilian didn't have to do the housework because her family could pay a maid to do the housework. But now, for the first time in her life, she had to do the housework in England, because now it was just Senna and Lilian. The weather in England seemed terribly cold and they didn't speak much English. Life wasn't easy. Life wasn't easy. The weather. The weather. The weather. What's the weather like? For example, what's the weather like in Brasilia? Wow. In Brasilia, there are only 2 seasons. From what's the weather like in Brasilia? In Brasilia, there are only 2 seasons. From October to April, the weather is cold and rainy. Cold and rainy. From April to October, the weather in Brasilia is dry and hot. Okay? Dry, no water, no rain, desert. Okay? Hot and dry. So, in Brasilia, from April to October, it doesn't rain not one single day. There are absolutely no rains. It doesn't rain in Brasilia from April to October. No rain at all. O que é at all? Para enfatizar uma coisa que você acabou de dizer. No rain at all. Mesmo. Não chove mesmo. To emphasize, to confirm, to seal what you have just said. To stamp. Carimbar, selar, enfatizar o que você acabou de dizer. Do you want something to eat? No. Lasagna? No. Fruit? No. Ice cream? No. Salad? No. Really? Nothing? Nothing. I don't want to eat. Nothing at all? Nada mesmo? Quer comer nada mesmo? Certeza? No. Would you like something to drink? No, I'm fine. Some water? No, thank you. Coffee? No, I'm really fine. Juice? Wine? No, I'm fine. I don't want to drink anything. Nothing at all? Yes, nothing at all. I don't want anything to drink. Nada mesmo? Nada mesmo. So, there are absolutely no rains in Brasilia. It doesn't rain from April to October. No rain at all. Really no rain. Literally. From April to October, the weather is dry and hot. Oh my God. Ooh. Okay? Hot and dry. Sunny, hot and dry. From October to April, the weather in Brasilia is cold and rainy. Cold and rainy. Okay? Two other examples of weather. Breezy, windy. Okay? Let me see if I find a video. Windy weather. Just a minute. Sabrina. Just a minute. Fazer uma piada interna aqui. Sabrina. Estamos ao vivo no YouTube e no Spotify. Cadê o YouTube Premium? Para eu poder mostrar meus vídeos sem anúncio. Inside joke. Piada interna. So, windy, breezy weather. Windy, breezy, windy, breezy weather. Ok? Windy, breezy weather. Windy, breezy weather. And cloudy or overcast weather. Cloudy or overcast weather. A lot of clouds in the sky. Cloudy or overcast. Cloudy or overcast. Gente, se você estiver ouvindo um bebê chorando, é a Sofia, minha filha. Ela tá com uma alergiazinha hoje, tá? Mas tem... A mãe dela está lá com ela. Tá tudo bem dentro do possível, tá? Mas enfim, não é nada demais, é uma alergiazinha, incomoda, mas só para você saber, tem um bebê chorando, mas tá tudo sob controle. Ok, cloudy, check it out. Just a minute. So, sunny, rainy, windy, cloudy. How's the weather today? It is sunny, it is rainy, it is windy, it is cloudy, it is beautiful day. Okay? It is sunny, it is rainy, It is windy, it is cloudy, it's a beautiful day. Ok? How's the weather? How's the weather? How's the weather today? It is hot, it is cold, it's stormy, it's snowy, it's a beautiful day. Ok? Vamos rever esse último? It is hot, it is cold, it's stormy, it's snowy, it's a beautiful day. Okay? So, the weather in England seemed terribly cold and they didn't speak much English. Life wasn't easy. Senna spent most of his time on the racetrack. Senna spent most of his time all day long on the racetrack. He had a lot to learn. In go-kart racing, the tracks were always flat. He had a lot to learn because in go-kart racing, the tracks were always flat. But car races, now he had to drive on hills too. Ok? Então, um exemplo bem simples aqui, ó. Se você observar, go-kart races they are flat. They are flat. Flat. They are flat. Go-kart races, they are flat. Agora, vou te mostrar a track full of hills. Check it out. Esse trecho aqui, flat, like a go-kart racing track. But now, downhill, uphill, okay? Flat again. So, in Europe, this this part of the track is flat, but now hills again, downhills, okay? Downhill. So, in go-kart racing, the tracks were always flat. But now, Senna had to drive on hills. ok? But that was no problem because Senna was a fast learner. He learned fast, quickly. He learned new things quickly. He was very good at receiving, processing new information, doing new things, learning new things. He had always been a go-kart racer, and go-kart tracks are flat. But now, Formula Ford 1600 Europe, England, he had to drive on hills too. But that was no problem because Senna learned fast. Senna learned fast. Ok? Com isso, chegamos ao final de mais uma aula e, como sempre, eu quero te perguntar, primeiro lugar, já se inscreveu e curtiu? Esse conteúdo é gratuito. A única coisa que eu te peço em troca, em retribuição, é que você curta a aula para ajudar com que ela chegue a outras pessoas. É assim que funciona. Provavelmente ela chegou a você porque outros clicaram, não sei se você recebeu e-mail, mensagem, mas o YouTube vai compartilhando e distribuindo à medida que as pessoas vão curtindo. Então, se você chegou até aqui, curte, se inscreve no canal para nos ajudar a propagar o bem, ensinando inglês sem traduzir, com a história de Senna. Essas aulas que estão ajudando e inspirando tantas pessoas, ok? Beleza? E, além disso, se você está me ouvindo no Spotify e quiser assistir essa aula, vai no YouTube e digita Felipe André Inglês e você vai ver lá as aulas do Senna. Se você está me assistindo no YouTube, depois que você termina de assistir a aula, é hora de ir para o Spotify, Felipe André Inglês, ouvir, masterizar a aula novamente. E se você realmente quiser um progresso diferenciado, peraí. Isso. Se você realmente quiser um progresso diferenciado, acessar o presente. 15 dias de uso. Só um minuto. Só um minuto. Oxente. Just a minute. Ok? Tá, é que eu estava só avisando um negócio para minha equipe aqui. Volta. 15 dias de acesso exclusivo ao aplicativo do meu programa fechado de Fluência para Adultos da Escola da Fluência, aonde você pode ouvir os áudios da narração do livro inglês britânico e pode fazer fazer as atividades de reforço e fixação, tá, do conteúdo. É maravilhoso, é sensacional, é um aplicativo que, enfim, na minha opinião, a melhor forma de praticar e exercitar inglês que existe hoje. É exclusivo dos meus alunos do programa fechado da Escola da Fluência. Mas quem está fazendo o aquecimento oficial para o documentário com o Ayrton Senna ganhou 15 dias, né? Então, como é que é? De 4 a 10 de abril, eu vou fazer o documentário dos 5% fluentes, onde eu vou te mostrar as duas chaves que transformam um adulto brasileiro num fluente em inglês. De 4 a 10 de abril. E nós estamos fazendo este aquecimento oficial para o documentário com as aulas Aprendendo Inglês sem Traduzir com Ayrton Senna. E aí, quem está cadastrado e confirmado para o documentário está ganhando 15 dias para fazer o aquecimento completo com as aulas, áudios e atividades do aplicativo. Felipe, como que eu me inscrevo, como que eu me cadastro, confirmo minha participação e ganho os 15 dias do aplicativo? Na descrição do vídeo vai ter esse link. Como é que eu faço para ter acesso ao slide? Como é que eu faço para ter acesso às anotações? Grupo VIP do Telegram, aonde que está o link? Na descrição do vídeo. Então, se inscreve no canal, curte a aula, rola para baixo, aperta no link, se cadastra para o documentário, confirma sua participação e você ganha 15 dias de acesso ao aplicativo. Te vejo na próxima aula. God bless you. See you